Welcome to a special edition of The Breakdown, episode 638. It's a continuation of today's episode, which aired at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ended at 2. Again, special edition of The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. Shout out to Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G and check out the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. Also, click on my link, sign up to Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. There you go. What's going on? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Evening special. Okay, evening special. Going to be joined live by Arthur Hayes. That's right. I said I was going to bring on somebody cool today. Hopefully you guys went ahead and saw the announcement on X. That's where we make the announcements. You should be following my account. You should absolutely be following my account. We'll dive deep into his take about the markets. That's right. I'll ask him questions about what he thinks about the markets. I got to tell you, I've seen Arthur around for a very long time, but I've been watching some of his sit downs with some of the people that have interviewed you. I got to say that Arthur has an answer for everything, but we'll be right back in 2 minutes. Okay. We'll be back. Actually, not in 2 minutes. We'll be back in 4 minutes. And we'll get live right into it. 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. Reshare. Share with your friends. Tell everybody. David's having a special edition of The Breakdown right now. Okay. Go tell everybody right now. Go. Run along. Run. That's right. This special episode of The Breakdown, episode 638, the continuation of today's show, is sponsored by Gemini. Go check out Gemini, gemini.com/David G. Also, check out, if you see my link, click on the goddamn link. Okay. You guys don't have any money, so might as well go ahead and actually, if you do have a little money, you can go ahead and trade on Gemini, trade $1,000 in crypto, and get $100 in Bitcoin. Though, again, I stand by it. Some of you guys don't have any money. All right, let's get right back to it. I feel like I've been debating all day today. I really do. I feel like I've been debating with people. Actually, I don't even think I've been debating with people all day. I think I've been having really good conversations with a lot of people today. Um, it's been intriguing conversations. You got one side of the fence saying one thing. Actually, there's 5 sided defenses here. There's absolutely 5 sided defenses, and it's wild. It's wild to see that everybody has a different opinion. We're in a bear market. We're in a pause market. We're in the next bull run is coming in 2032. It's fascinating to me. But at 6 p.m., which is a minute away, we will be joined by Arthur Hayes. Obviously, you should know who he is. If you've been in crypto for a long ass time, you should know the name. Again, when I opened up this show today, which is the special edition, having Arthur on here today. Man, like I've watched like 3 or 4 or 5. I've actually watched more. I think almost 15 interviews. This dude got an answer for everything. There is nobody that has caught him off guard and so that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock. Let's bring Arthur right in, and let's get to talking shop. What's going on, Arthur?
How you doing? I'm great.
It's good to have you on, man. Yeah, I got to tell you, your PR team, they're strong. They're security guards, man.
That's the goal. We're in the game of attention. Got to
Bro,
maximize
oh
that
my
shit.
God, man! I felt like I was negotiating a contract. Nah, I'm kidding, but they're good, man. Shout out to the PR team, man. They're good. They're good people, man. Um, I was saying earlier, I've been watching like you make the rounds around here, and like I've seen some people try to like ask a question or two to like catch you off guard, and it's not happening. So that's pretty cool, man. That you're always on your toes, man.
It's fun. I enjoy this.
All right, for the people that are tuning in, and we got a lot of people tuning in. We got TikTok in the house now. We're trying to get Instagram and Facebook in the house. The boomers in, but we got X, we got LinkedIn. Well, representing the boomers is LinkedIn, and everybody else. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I hate leading in with this line, but there are new people tuning in, so I'd rather you go ahead and break yourself down.
Sure. So I got started in crypto in 2013. I used to work at Deutsche Bank and Citibank in Hong Kong, trading ETFs. I got fired from my job. I wanted to do something different. I read the white paper. It really resonated with me as a gold bug and somebody who believed that fiat money is the central banking system is bullshit. I started trading it. Decided that I wanted to create a derivatives exchange for Bitcoin. Initially, me and my other two co-founders, Ben Delo and Sam Reed, came together and started BitMEX in 2014. I guess our big claim to fame is the creation of the perpetual swap in 2016, which is the most traded crypto primitive ever. And we're number one. We're not number one. Got fucked by the U.S. government. Got a pardon. Now I'm here. I have my own family office called Maelstrom. We do early stage token investing. I do about a bit of liquid trading. And obviously, what people most know me for is the blog that I write, Crypto Trader Digest, and having fun on X and some of the social media platforms. And obviously, I make the rounds doing this media stuff as well.
Which is cool. You don't do, from what I gather, you don't do any sort of trading. You just sit back, get yourself a position, and you just relax.
Yeah, so I'm a long only guy. I don't like to go short things. Short's hard. I have my own little trading book where I do shitcoin trading and whatnot. Our large positions are mostly Bitcoin, ETH, and Zcash, and then there's an investment team that are pounding the pavement trying to find the next Athena or Pendle or EtherFi, those type of positions. And we invest and we advise, and that's sort of what we do.
4-year cycle, it's been talked about everywhere. There are people that believe that the 4-year cycle is done with, and then there are other people that believe that the 4-year cycle is still intact. What do you believe, Mr. Arthur Hayes?
So I believe that the 4-year cycle is dead for now. I think that this particular bull market will extend. Obviously, the market peaked in October at 124,000 for Bitcoin, like 4 trillion on like total market cap, and now we're much lower than that, like 25-30%. So for those in the 4-year cycle camp, they feel vindicated and validated. I prefer to listen to politicians and read the newspaper, and they tell me that they want to fight wars, hand out stimulus checks, do all these things. They don't want to raise taxes. We had a recent Fed meeting in last week, and they rolled out what I believe is the next version of money printing called Reserve Management Purchases, RMPs. There is a lot of controversy in sort of the macro and money market community. There are those that believe that this is the same as quantitative easing with a little bit of tweaks, and there are those that say, no, this is not quantitative easing. This will not have the effects that you think it has. And so I think we're battling that out right now in the markets. Bitcoin, at least post to FOMC, is down about 5%. So those who are in the camp of this is not QE feel vindicated. I think by first quarter of next year, we're going to be off to the races, and people will recognize that this is just another form of money printing. And if the Fed's easing, every other major central bank now has license to ease as well, because they can keep their currency value versus the dollar constant by printing the same amount of money or some amount of money as the Fed is doing.
Bitcoin currently is in the 80s and people are panicking on the timeline. For me personally, I'm long term, so I don't give a shit. I don't really care where if Bitcoin goes to 74, like the prediction or like the TA guys are putting out there, respectfully to the TA guys, putting out 74 or 64 or 50. I don't care. I'll buy at those positions. What do you say to people right now panicking, like really losing their minds that Bitcoin is in the 80, I believe it's 85, $86,000 range right now?
Yeah. So the first thing is don't use leverage. Like if you can't handle a 25% drawdown in Bitcoin, then you should, and you're using leverage positions on some sort of derivatives platform, stop. You can't handle it. Like this is, I've been doing this for, I've been involved in pretty much every major cycle since Bitcoin was created. And like a 25% drawdown over a few weeks is not that big of a deal compared to what we used to have in terms of the volatility. Right. Maybe look at Zcash and how that, went up and then went down like 60% in the span of like a few days. That is the kind of volatility that you should be able to weather in your portfolio. And if you use a lot of leverage and you're not judicious about it, then you get blown up and you panic. Right. Um, the other and unfortunately, sadder part of this is there's a lot of people who believe in the narrative that Bitcoin is out there. Hey, they're money printing. My salary is not keeping up with inflation. I need to do something about this. I heard about this Bitcoin thing. I bought it a few months ago or maybe a year or whatever it is. Why am I not rich yet? And I think that is the majority of the panic, right? Oh, this guy over here has been slinging dog shit AI companies and made 10x. I'm being over here responsible because I care about inflation and the value of my money. And I'm in this crypto thing and I'm underperforming the NASDAQ, gold, all those other things. What the fuck? This isn't how it was supposed to be. And so then, timing is everything. If you cherry pick a particular 3-month window, I bet you can find lots of periods where Bitcoin underperformed stocks, underperformed gold. And unfortunately, you just have to be patient. And it either will happen or it won't. I think it will if you look at the history of how Bitcoin responds to liquidity. But again, it's I need to get rich now because the situation out there is dire. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, the market doesn't give a fuck about your future plans for your wealth. It is what it is, and we are where we are. And so again, I think the patience needs to be involved in terms of when you get into this ecosystem. It's not automatically going to validate your position that yes, this fiat currency that I have is dog shit, and therefore Bitcoin went up 5x in the first week I owned it. Woo woo woo! I feel like a hero, kind of thing.
I want to ask you, being that you mentioned leverage and blowing yourself up, would you encourage people who are just coming into crypto? I have to ask you this to get into leverage trading that are
Only if it's
just coming in, just coming in. They're
Yeah, I
just
think it's nothing to do about the asset itself. It has to do about the dedication to your craft. If you want to use leverage in crypto, be dedicated to doing it, which means this is your full-time job. You are a crypto trader. You are on the clock 24/7. If it's 3 a.m. and the alarm says that something happened in one of your positions, your ass is waking up and you're dealing with it, right? The unfortunate part is a lot of people say, oh, this crypto thing offers a lot of leverage. If the price goes up 5%, I make 20x of my money. This is great. And I can do it when I get off of work on my phone, even better. And so, they approach it like this part-time gig that's supposed to sort of elevate them out of their, shitty wage cucking job. And they're not dedicated to actually what's going on. Did you read all the documents that the exchange published on how this leverage operates? Every exchange is different. Do you understand the time series of how prices respond? Do you know what open interest is? Do you know how it changes? Who are the players who are levered long? Who are the players who are levered short? Like, if you don't understand all this stuff, if you can't read an order book properly, if you don't want to put the time in to read the stuff, if you don't want to wake up at 2 a.m. because the price moved, and you want to forestall getting liquidated, you do not deserve to use leverage. And if you do use leverage, you will lose all your money, and that is just a fact. And so I think it's a dedication issue. If you dedicate yourself to trading crypto, you can be very successful, but you have to dedicate yourself to it. And I don't think many traders are willing to put in the effort.
it's 24/7. There's no way around it. You got to go 24/7 in with leverage.
Yeah, exactly. Or, if you're just scalping, you're in and you're out. While you're in a position, you are fully engaged and attentive to what you are doing.
I want to ask you about the current monetary policy in the United States of America. What do you think about it? Do you well, and that'll lead me to a different question that I have for you right after that. But what do you think about it?
I
What
think
do
it's
you
the same
think
as everywhere else.
about what Trump is trying to do along with Besant?
So Trump, the thing that people, the thing I think the thing that people get wrong about Trump is they think that he has an ideology. He doesn't. He wants to win. Winning means more people vote for him than the other person at the ballot box. More people vote for Team Red Republican than Team Blue Democrat. It has nothing to do about ideology. He will change what he believes as long as it wins. And I think people get wrong this whole socialism capitalism thing in the United States. The United States is a socialist economy. It just depends. Socialist and a capitalist economy. It's socialist for very wealthy people because they get money printing whenever shit fucks up for them. It's capitalist for the poorest of poor because you're supposed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do hard work and you'll be rewarded by the system. So it's this dichotomy of a system. And then, anytime somebody wants to give money to the poor people, they're socialist. Anytime they want to give to the rich, it's deflation. Oh, we need to fight deflation. But it's the same thing. And Trump wants to win. Trump in 2020 gave one of the biggest stimulus programs in American history. He opened up the spigot and said, everybody gets a check. That's socialism right there. Yet he, berates Mamdani and ilk and other politicians about wanting to give out free buses or whatever, right? For people. But then Mamdani won and he had him at the White House and he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to change up. So I think what you're going to see in 2026 is more goodies, more stimmy checks, and more rhetoric about taxing the rich from Trump, which might seem quite diametrically opposed to what the supposed Team Red Republicans are supposed to be about. And maybe some of them are in the rank and file, but if they want to be on Team Trump and they want Trump's support in the ticket, then they'll get in line and do what he says. And so I think that is what's going to happen in 2026. Both Team Red and Team Blue are all about giving away free shit to their supporters. And whoever is able to do that better or push that message faster or further is the person who wins. And which is very supportive of the inflationary narrative, and which is why the Fed and the Treasury must respond with printed money to make sure that Trump can make good on his promises to give out free shit. And that's what they're going to do. And that's why I believe that, the Fed's reverse management RMP program is going to be used as another tool of stealth money printing to fund the government.
Do you in the next 3 months, quarter one, do you see Bitcoin or the markets in general start reversing?
I
Next
think
3
so. I
months.
think
Give it
I
in the
think
next 3 months. Do you see them start printing and doing everything possible to oh, and retail finally? I don't think retail has ever Arthur, honestly, I'm one. I don't know. There have been other people that agree with me, but I don't believe retail has come in here. Like ordinary retail. I don't believe they came into the markets. I don't believe that because I believe that they've been sitting for the last 2.5 years. Uh, they're back on their payments. We have what $1.23 trillion in consumer debt on credit cards. I don't think they have no money to participate in any of these markets. So I'm just wondering, with these stimulus checks that will probably go out, the tariff checks or whatever you want to call them, um, will we finally see us make a real move? And you said something in 2026, you can see Bitcoin hit $500,000. Do you believe it starts in quarter one?
I think that right now we're going to chop between probably 80 to 100,000 because
Okay.
again, there's a discussion in the circles of macro is whether or not the Fed is embarking them on true money printing or not. Again, I'm in the camp that they are. There's lots of very vocal people who are very well respected who say, no, 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 it's not. And so that's why I think Bitcoin has not performed so well, right? The market doesn't seem to believe that this is true money printing. And an analogous situation would be in 2008 when Ben Bernanke rolled out the first quantitative easing program. The market continued falling until from November to March of 2009, market being the S&P 500. And then obviously up only for the last 15 years or whatever it is. So right now we're in the digestion phase. Yes, the program is a bit different. It goes through different channels. We need to see some empirical evidence that these weekly RMP purchases lead to balance sheet expansion. This money is funneled to the Treasury. the Treasury increases the size of its bill issuance, and this money makes it into the American economy. And we're going to see that over time. And I believe that the market's going to slowly realize, oh, yes, this is money printing. And the best tool to essentially profit off that is Bitcoin and crypto. And so we start to see, I think we take out 125,000, quickly in January. We'll peak in the probably March timeframe. And then there'll be some questions about what the new Fed chair is going to do. Is this RMP program going to be continued? We might get a pretty nasty correction as people think, oh no, it's ending. This is it. We only had 4 months of money printing. Now they're going back to reducing or keeping the balance sheet stable. I think it'll be a great buying opportunity because when the second half of 2026, Trump gets his man as the Fed chairperson, and I think the rest of the developed world, including China, will follow the Fed and money printing because they want to keep their currencies at least flat to the dollar. Because now the U.S. is entering into a role of I want to export and compete with China, Germany, and Japan, who have all undervalued their currencies versus the U.S. dollar to dump a bunch of exports in the U.S. And now the U.S. wants to get into the same game of this currency debasement. This is the stated goal of the Trump administration and Buffalo Bill Bussett to trash the dollar. The only way that the Chinese and the ECB and the Japanese can sort of fight that is say, okay, cool. If the Fed's printing, we print too. And the best thing about crypto is that we don't give a fuck where it comes from. If the fiat's getting printed, we go up in price. To whether or not retail is participating, I don't really know. I don't really look at that granular. All I care about is, are there more units of fiat to be created in the future than today? What is the market expectation for that? The pace of that fiat creation? Is there a dichotomy with where Bitcoin is trading versus the expectation? And that informs my view. I don't care about institutions. I don't care about retail. I don't look at any of these statistics. I don't think they matter. I think it's great for, obviously you have a podcast, you need to sort of contextualize what's happening of giving a cogent story, but I just don't give a fuck. Tell me the money market situation, give me a macro backdrop that's favorable, and then I'm going to use that as a way to have confidence in executing my Bitcoin and shitcoin trades.
I respect the shitcoin trades. They make you a lot of money, so you
I
can
love
get
some
more
shitcoins.
Bitcoin. Like, right? It's like, I don't think fucking people don't get it. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 638, the special edition, because I have Arthur Hayes here, man, legend. I appreciate you taking the time too. Everybody right now is just like so fucking depressed because they think like this is the worst cycle of all time. Like literally, like it's almost like I got to tell people you need to seek therapy kind of thing when you have these discussions. Like, holy shit, like relax, man. Like, holy, let it play out. I personally, like, you alerted to earlier that I don't know. I don't believe in the 4-year cycle, but me and my boy go at it all the time. We have differences opinions there. Privacy. By the way, your blog is awesome. I wanted to tell you that.
Thank
your
you.
blog is awesome. Read it all the time. I'll touch on one thing because I know you're limited for time, but I'll touch on one thing. Okay. Privacy. It's huge for me. I'm constantly talking about privacy, and it's not to get away from the IRS or shit like that. It's about like, hey, I don't want to be sitting at a red light, okay, and have people run up on me and say, yo, run your ledger right now. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like people figuring out, hey, holy shit, this guy's worth X amount of money. Let's go after him, becoming a target. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. You've been lately talking about Zcash, Monero. Those are my two favorites right now. Privacy. I think it should be a bigger issue within the crypto system and the ecosystem. What do you think?
I think it will be. I think privacy is going to be the new, if you want to, in my view, and this is what I'm tasking the investment professionals at Maelstrom to sort of figure out. I think that the standout shitcoin or few shitcoins of 2026 to 2028 will be related some way, shape, or form to privacy. We already saw the amazing move of Zcash over the last few months. Yes, it's down 50% from the 780 high, but I think again, my goal is my mental model is 10 to 20% the value of the Bitcoin. That's what Zcash ends up. So much higher than where it is today. But taking away Zcash, what is the token project or protocol that's going to utilize some privacy technology, probably something related to ZK, zero knowledge proofs, to do something, whether that's quantum resistant, the AI overlords can't de-anonymize our data or, see what we're doing, whatever it is, right? These are the things that we're latently afraid of what the bad things that could happen with this proliferation of big tech, big government, and AI. And so obviously the best narratives are things that trade on our fears. Whether or not any of these technologies actually solve these problems is somewhat irrelevant to investment returns in this formative period of this narrative. And so I think that the privacy narrative is going to produce the best performers of the next few years in the shitcoin space. And I don't know what that is outside of Zcash, right? Zcash is, I think, privacy beta, and I think it's going to do very well. I have a big position. Cool. But what else are we going to do? How do I find the next Athena? Where Athena is to DeFi as what is to privacy. I don't know what that is. That's my job, and our job as investment professionals to find that and invest in that and hold that position.
Are you still interested in Monero? Are you still holding Monero, or
I
are
dumped
you
all my
more so
Monero for
just holding
Zcash
Zcash?
a few months ago. I'm full in on Zcash. I know. I'm not saying Monero is bad. There's good and there's bad. But I've made my position, and I'm very vocal about that.
Why did it take this long to start caring about privacy? It's because, and I'm like, it finally. I get it. Like the privacy protocols did come out. You had Monero, you had Zcash also. It went
Dash,
up
a
at one
lot of
time.
them.
But like, why did it take this fucking long for us to say, you know what, privacy? We should be actually talking more so about privacy. Like,
Well, I
why
think we're
this
starting to
long?
see the power of AI combined with all of these data sets that we voluntarily gave to big tech companies, right? There was a lot of noise about Zcash back in 2016. It was the hottest new coin
Yeah.
back when it launched. And I remember at BitMEX, we launched the first derivative on Zcash, and it was very successful because there was so much energy around this privacy narrative. It's always been a narrative, right? Bitcoiners, maxis have always talked about privacy. It's always been something embedded within the community. But now, and it was more on the government overreach and this sort of thing. But if the government is powerful, AI is omnipotent, whatever. I can't pronounce it early in the morning.
Okay, man.
But yeah,
They wouldn't
but
understand the word anyway.
so it's even worse with AI, right?
Yeah.
Because we've given it all this data. It's always on, doing whatever it does, um, for good or bad purposes, depending on who you are. And so this is what's really catalyzing the move behind privacy. And I think people are intrinsically hardwired to understand this. It's like on a home front, I will refuse to put a Alexa or one of these fucking Google things in my home that's just listening to me, collecting my data,
Yeah.
and handing it back to some company or the government. Right. And there's lots of people who believe the same way that I do. Or, hey, I don't want you to put your AI assistant on record mode on all my fucking Zoom calls. Right. My data should not be used to train your fucking AI assistant. And I think these conversations, people believe this in their minds. So
Yeah.
when you say, hey, do you want something that is, resistant to this oversight of AI and big tech? People, of course I do. And now you can express that with, the improvement in ZK cryptography, which has made a lot of progress even over the last 10 years in terms of what we're able to do. And so that's why I think now is a time for privacy.
I think so too. It's. I think people are just absolutely. They're stuck on quick money. I've learned in this current cycle is stuck on quick money. It's like we used to have patient diamond holders, I guess diamond handed holders. Now it's just crazy ass gamblers that are just running around trying to get the new shit coin off the launch pads that are, you know, it's easy. It's just they're not even developers, just deployers that are just trying to get, quick money. And quick money is never good money because you always end up at zero. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 638, special edition here with Arthur Hayes. I got a few more questions for him before. Obviously, he has to go. He's a busy man. I seen how much. I know how much time I have left. I know how much time I have left. Arthur, I wanted to ask you this: um, are people misreading this market right now? Like all the experts that are out here, are they absolutely misreading this market right now?
It depends. I think some people are, I think the biggest of it is the 4-year cycle, and regardless of whether or not it's true or false, I think trying to put a declarative statement of this cycle has to be this length, whatever that length is, because it has happened in the past, without trying to understand the context with which created that situation, is probably the biggest problem that you can have as an investor. The cycle will be as long as it is. It could be 4 years, could be 3 years, could be 7 years, could be 10 years. Like, I don't know. But like, what is a situation that always breaks a crypto cycle? It's a slowdown of credit creation, or a contraction of credit creation, or a belief that the credit will slow down. That has been the situation that's ended every single major crypto, bull market. And so, is that happening right now or not? Focus on that. Have an opinion on that, versus some dude with a TIA do a pretty chart and it says, yes, 4-year cycle, and we go down to whatever it is we go down to, and therefore, I take that view. And I think, that is probably the biggest problem with people in all financial markets, is sort of extrapolating the past to the present without the proper context.
Fast forward 24 months. What's the headline about crypto that people will call obvious, but today they'll laugh at?
Bitcoin surges due to central bank money printing.
Bitcoin store value first or settlement network first?
I'd say storage of value.
One overhyped narrative right now.
RWAs.
RWAs. Why?
I think the only successful RWAs are interest rate plays. And so if the Fed's cutting rates, then that obviously goes out the window. I don't need a fractionalized piece of an apartment. I need a fucking apartment, a whole one. So I don't get the point.
One underrated trade setup.
Long Athena. I think that as rates come down and the basis rates on Bitcoin goes up, then Athena does well and sort of exits this like nuclear bear market it's had recently.
Shout out to Athena. First time I've heard it during this telecast. I'm just kidding. One metric you check daily.
One metric I check daily. The Treasury General account.
All right, and this is the last one. You're into working out. You're one of the few of us here. Like, there's not a lot of us that work out. Okay, I feel like this space is made up of a lot of low T people. I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it 100. A lot of them have never seen a gym in their lives. You're taking. I've read or I watched a podcast that you were on. You're into stem cells. Can you just tell me
Yes.
more about that and longevity? I like. Obviously, I'm big on that. I want to get your point of view on this.
So I want to live the longest, healthiest life that I can using whatever medical advances that we have. I think that stem cells is something that's been under researched and underused. Obviously, it's very risky still, for sure. Not a lot of peer-reviewed research, but there's also not a lot of incentive for big pharmaceutical companies to push this, especially in the West. And I believe it works from my anecdotal experiences, and that's why I invested in a clinic, and we'll be increasing our footprint globally in terms of offering these treatments for a range of different ailments. And then, at the end of the day, I think you feel better, you do better work, you live longer, you live better if you go to the gym and lift some heavy weights. Whether you're a man or especially a woman, everybody should lift weights.
100%.
You don't need to be jacked,
100%.
but like at least have some skeletal muscle. And it's one of the biggest predictors of longevity is like muscle mass.
This I tell everybody, like, lifting is not lifting your remote, man. Just go outside and even if you want to do some Richard Simmons workouts and clap your hands and stuff, you should go ahead and do that. Arthur Hayes, you're a legend. I appreciate everything. You know what I appreciate? That you actually come on Twitter. I'm not gonna call it X because every time I say X, it's like a drug. Okay. I appreciate you coming onto Twitter and still shit posting and still talking about some of these shit coins that are out there and probably still making God knows how much money. God bless you, just killing the game. I really do appreciate you taking the time out. Shout out to your PR crew, man. They're bodyguards, but I appreciate that you made the time today to go ahead and come on here and chop it up with me about the markets.
Thanks for having me. See you soon.
Have a good one, Arthur. That was Arthur Hayes, man. Legend. If you do not know the legend, go ahead and read up on him, okay? Go ahead and read up on Arthur and everything that he's done in this space, man. That dude's a cool cat, man. Man, it was wild, man. He's flexing out here. I can't flex in this suit. I can't flex in this suit, man. I just can't flex in the suit. I mean, the suit's tight and shit, but I can't flex. I can't flex. Well, I can flex, but then I can rip my. Anyway, that was Arthur Hayes. I had a lot more questions, though. I got to tell you, I had a lot more questions, but I got 30 minutes. Got 30 minutes, and I really wanted to touch on a lot of the stuff that is happening within this industry currently right now. That's really it. I wanted to, I'm trying. Listen, I know. I'm just trying to. Every single body I'm fucking talking to, everybody has a different fucking take. Okay, I'm bringing on all the OGs. Like I'm bringing on everybody. I love Arthur Hayes because he's talking about Bitcoin too. Like the ultimate goal is to get Bitcoin. Like you heard it. You heard it. The ultimate goal is to get Bitcoin. I don't understand why nobody understands me when I say this, man. The ultimate goal, you can trade all these shit tokens. You can go into all these you can go into anything you want, but the ultimate goal is to get Bitcoin. That's it. It's like the ultimate goal is that. It's not to retain something that like has a 2-year shelf life, man. No. But again, like I'm bringing on guests here who are obviously notable people within this space who've helped build this space. And I'm like, everybody has, for the most part, everybody's coming on here with the same answer. Everybody is literally coming on here with the same fucking answer. Is that the 4-year cycle is done. But then like I speak to Landy, who I love Landy, no Diddy, no baby oil. Okay. I respect Landy, and then I respect a few other people who share Landy's opinion. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm like sitting back here like, fuck, man. Like, I don't believe that. Like, okay, it's a pause market for another 3 months. That's what I'm thinking. I can't even call it what you want me to call it. It's a pause. It's a pause in the goddamn markets. He said a few things about the administration that had me thinking real quick, man. Angle of front. He said a few things. I was about to, I'm a proud Republican, MAGA, and I thought for a second, wait, hold up. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you bring on people and you have a conversation and you're asking them about certain topics, and then they hit you with things that out of 30 minutes, they hit you with oh shit, I didn't think about that. That kind of makes sense. That's what you're looking for from these convos. That's what you're really looking for from these combos. Anyway, welcome. For anybody tuning in right now, you can replay this show. I've pinned it to the top, especially pinned it to the top of Twitter, or I should say X, formerly known as Twitter. Jesus Christ. Elon, shout out to you, but X, I mean, it's just so fucking complicated to fucking say. Nobody understands what the fuck I'm saying. They don't understand what the fuck I'm saying to begin with. Like, and now I'm saying X. Go see me on X. And they're like, bro, you do no, bro. Go see me on X, man. Everybody got a different take. I'm still wondering why, and obviously I asked that question, why did it take us so fucking long to take privacy seriously? I don't understand why it took us so long to take privacy seriously. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Rapid fire questions for the guests that come on. Rapid fire. I like the way he answered it. I like how he answered that. I did. I wanted to ask him about Hyperliquid, and I also wanted to ask him about Aster. Then I wanted to ask him about CZ. But you know what? Maybe I bring on CZ. Maybe CZ is next. I bring on CZ, and then we go ahead and we chop it up. Because here are the OGs. It really is. It's the OGs. You got Arthur. You got CZ. You got a bunch of people. OG cats that helped build this space. Help build this space. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break from Gemini. Shout out to Gemini. That's right. You've tuned into this special edition of The Breakdown, episode 638, sponsored by Gemini. Gemini.com/David G. Go check out the lineup of credit cards. Also, click my link. When you click my link and you sign up for the first time and you trade $1,000 in crypto, you get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. We'll be right back in a minute to go ahead and wrap up this show. I want to thank everybody who joined in, everybody who came and watched this show, the breakdown episode 638. Sorry about that. I hate phone calls. I hate phone calls. Obviously there was a commercial break, but my phone's blowing up. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, Arthur Hayes was on." But shout out to Arthur Hayes for coming on. I appreciate it. And obviously I made time. I don't do the show at 6, but honestly, with the markets the way they are, I want to get as many people as possible to come onto the show and chop it up with me so we can understand where we're heading. And it's okay to get different opinions. It absolutely is okay to get different opinions. Friday, this is a huge show. Friday, we have a huge show. There's no doubt about it. This is huge. And it's big for me. I'm a fan. I am. I'm a fan for different reasons. Not your reasons. It's different reasons for me. I'm a fan. Because I believe that if you believe in something and You go all out. You absolutely go out. All out. You leave nothing on the table. You leave absolutely nothing on the table. And you just absolutely, you win at all costs. So Friday's guest will absolutely be an individual that is absolutely laser focused on winning. That's how I look at it. That's how, no, I'm not sweating it. Why would I be sweating? Not sweating. I just look really nice. Sweating at all. This dude, why is a dude asking me if I'm sweating, bro? Why is it always a dude? Why is it always a dude talking about my looks and my appearance? Why is it always a dude? Why is there always a dude? Look, green eyes. I know well, I'm not going to go into this. I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this. My job is to interview people. Okay? That's one of my jobs. One of my jobs is to host a phenomenal show. Ask questions that you're thinking about, that you want me to ask, that you're afraid to ask. Like, that is my job. Analyze the market, report on the market. That is my fucking job. It's been my job since 2016 when the magazine popped off, right? When I came out with the magazine, who is one of the first people to go ahead and put women on a pedestal? It was me. Second magazine, The Women of Web3. Okay? In a space dominated by dudes that like to sword fight with each other, it was me who went ahead and came out a goddamn magazine all about the women who absolutely run circles around you dudes. It was me, absolutely me. I congratulate myself, me. And I'll flatter myself because if ain't nobody else ain't gonna do it, you might as well do it for yourself. You are your biggest fan. I always say this. By the way, welcome to the new people that tune into the show. The TikTokers now tune into the show. And yes, we've gone back and forth with the TikTokers, but they will eventually succumb to liking me, appreciating me, holding me up in the highest regards because they'll have no other choice. Because if they tune into these programs, they will be 100% driving those Ferraris and those Lamborghinis that they dream about, but only have posters about. Okay? You want to win? You tune into a winner. That's right. Anyway, bro. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to the show. Appreciate you. Special guest, obviously, Arthur Hayes. Arthur, thank you very much for participating. Hopefully, we get you back on the one-on-one podcast. We got a lot of people joining up on the podcast. Podcast coming. Podcast is coming. We're putting it all together. It's going to be phenomenal. Big, huge, big, big, huge, big. Like my boy Trump would say. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Trump is supposed to address the nation. So we'll see what that's about. We will see what that's about. Shout out to the Twitter people who are participating. Shout out to the LinkedIn people. Shout out to a lot of people that are congratulating me. Not just on the Arthur Hayes interview. They're congratulating me on the last 7.5 weeks of absolutely dominating and putting boots to asses, belts to asses. They see it. They understand it. I told you I'm back. I absolutely told you I'm going to smoke that ass. Clippers, go. Clippers, get the work done. Clippers, all the clip. And by the way, Who appreciates Clippers like me? Nobody. Who dedicates his shows to Clippers, to bringing on Clippers on here, to showcasing Clippers and telling everybody that without Clippers, there is no you. There is no me without a Clipper, okay? If you are a media personality, if you are a content creator and you are not appreciating the Clippers out there, you're as good as dead meat, my brothers and sisters. Anyway, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Have some really good guests coming on. 12 p.m. till 2. Friday. Lock in. Because I'm about to lock in. And we're going to have a great fucking show. We are absolutely Bitcoiners, get ready. Bitcoin maxis, get ready. Yo, all tune in. Because there's only one person that can go ahead and run an interview like me, and it's only me. It's me. Only me can go ahead and sit here and make somebody laugh and enjoy themselves during an interview while getting really good information at a said person who I'm interviewing. You can't learn this. You got to be born with this. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to Gemini. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. And this special edition of The Breakdown was sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to check out the lineup of credit cards from Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP issued by WebBank. Also, click the link, my link with my face on it, to sign up to Gemini. And once you do that, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100